Okay, I'm on. Okay, I'm on? Okay, alright. Hey, sorry I'm late, folks. Now, I gotta set this up because I was having problems just a moment ago. The reason I'm late is because I was having software problems here, caused by me, I might add. So, just give me a moment here. Okay. I will add this. And then add this. There we go. Give me a moment here while this sort of loads up. And I close this in the process. Okay. I'm more or less ready. Okay. Folks, give it a moment. It's kind of kicking up here. Ill preparation. Alright. Special snow broadcast. We got hit, hammered, smashed, crashed. With about 3 inches of snow here. But there's more of it elsewhere throughout the Baltimore area. And so as a special service to, especially for those of us in mid-Atlantic who got smashed and hammered with the snow, some more than others, we present this special snow broadcast. And I'll retitle it, give it a better title later. I just had to give it something. And I'm on Toshiba #1. Somebody, I won't mention who, I'm broadcasting on Toshiba #1. Yes, forget about you, Marty. But this is Toshiba #1 and only. This is the new computer that I'm on. And finally getting this damn thing to work. So, without further delay, this will be a special, let's see, 8, let's just see, 6, so it'll be about an 87-minute broadcast. And the best part is, I've got this figured out where I'll be able to keep it so that I don't have an open mic. And from 17th of December 1965, the first one, which I'm about to play, this is Robert Service poems, a lot of winter-type poems. And after that, Gene Shepard, the same person, will be talking about the great Indiana blizzard that he experienced as a child. So, first, Robert Service, and here we go. If I can get to work. Okay. Yellow. No. No. And then I want that on there. No, I don't want that there. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, we're going to have a little problems here, folks. I can smell it now. Deck 2. Okay. I know what I'll do next. Here we go. Got some unlucky victims here already. Okay, I know what to do now. Okay, the Robert Service I'm going to play first, and then the Great Indiana Blizzard. So for, like I said, 17th of December, 1965. Here we go.
It's like Monopoly. Hello there. Testing. There we go. It's like Monopoly. There's no clean-cut end in it. You just keep going on. You know that in Lake County, Indiana, they've been playing the same game of Monopoly there since the fall of 1932, and it hasn't finished yet. Generation after generation sit down and take the dice in hand, and there's been over 400 people on Park Avenue in that time, and they still haven't decided the game. So, you pick it up and you lay it down. What difference does it make? Some guys play Monopoly. Other guys pick their teeth. It's just, it's Friday. Oh boy, am I going this Friday. Would you please, every year, just before Christmas, just about this time, every year, we must do this. And I'm about to do it. So would you please set up my rotten, crummy, low-down, sneaky music? That's it. The blues. That's it. All right, you got it set in there? All right. Already in there? Did you read that before we do our yearly ritual? May I read this little piece here? It's New Haven, and I guess it's Connecticut, New Haven. Police today sought the mechanically minded 10 and 11-year-olds who managed to start a bulldozer and send it rumbling down a residential street with no one at the controls. An out-of-control bulldozer. Well, I'll never forget I dated one. The bulldozer, meandered from curb to curb after leaving the site of a new school. It climbed over a Cadillac convertible. It was parked, just went right over the top of it. Oh, boy. Knocked down a half a dozen fire hydrants and finally stopped halfway into a variety store near the ribbon counter. The car's owner was standing on her porch when she saw the machine heading down the street. She ran to her car, tried to start it, but couldn't. And the bulldozer's getting closer and closer. What a great moment. She's in there, and the car won't start of all times. I know what she did. She flooded it. She told police she jumped just as the dozer began to climb up the rear deck of her car. I'm sorry, no, don't look so sad. So what, She probably went in and called the insurance company the next instant, bulldozer ran over my car. And said, what? Bulldozer. I said, well, we'll take a look at the damages. Anyway, it says the bulldozer went right up the rear deck, right over the top of the car, right over the motor, and kept right on going. It says the car was totally flat. The errant bulldozer stopped halfway into the variety store. A bystander managed to turn the machine off. How many of you have ever been present at a great moment when you really did see a machine run amok? I mean, genuinely run amok. What was that great short story? Was it Poe again who wrote the short story about the cannon that was loose on the ship's deck? Was that Poe? I don't think it was Poe. Now, there's some little voice inside of me that says, no. That's a famous story. It's about the cannon that was loose. And the ship was rolling, and as each roll of the ship, this cannon would roll over and crush guys, and it was a tremendous thing with back and forth. It was the immense behemoth had gotten loose, and it was totally the insensate, the inhuman, the inchoate power of some giant machine rolling. Who was that? Who wrote that story? It doesn't exactly sound like Poe. No, I'm sorry, it was not Herman Woke. Now, don't holler woke. Somebody hollered, now stop it. It was not Herman Woke. Now, it was not Norman Mailer. Now, there was it was a big cannon that kept rolling back and forth, and it was killing. Now I won't be able to do the show. It's just terrible now. I'm bugged with this thing. It's in my mind. And then there was, of course, that story has been rewritten many times because it's a basic fear that people have. Just like, when you read many different types of horror stories, they keep reappearing, the same kind of horror story, the monster that comes out of the sea. We all have a fear of a monster coming out of a sea. How many times have you gone swimming in a lake, and you're swimming away, and you're in deep water, see? Victor Hugo, that's right. You're in deep water, And you have this sneaking suspicion. It's a crummy little lake. It's about 2.5 feet around, that there's going to be a monster come out of the dark weeds and grab you. That's a very basic fear. It was Victor Hugo. I think that's the right guy. Now, that story has been rewritten many times. In fact, there was one time a story written like that about a piano, a big piano that had gotten loose in some kind of a moving vehicle. I think it was a boat, too. But the original story had to do with a cannon. Well, now, the idea of a bulldozer rolling down the street, just crushing things and running right over the top of a Cadillac. Ironically, it would be a Cadillac. I think it's a neat bit of irony. If a writer wrote it as a Cadillac with a bulldozer crushing, immediately I can see the daily worker picking this up as a symbol of the working man finally crushing the idle capitalistic classes, and so on and on and on. But it's a great symbolic story. Well, I remember one time I'm this kid. Would you please bring me a little, I think that quiet blues music. I'm a kid, see, I'm walking along through just feeling my oats, walking around. I'm in a steel mill, see, and I'm spitting and hollering and pretending like I'm a steel worker, I got a pair of safety glasses up on the top of my hat. I got the big corduroy hat with the earmuffs. I got the safety shoes on. Boy, I'm really with the scene, I'm running in and out of the lakefront scales, and I'm running past the open hearth and around the blast furnace, and I'm digging it. I can hear the sound of the big machines. Bah, 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 bah. Once in a while, there's nothing. I don't think there's any sound at all that is as terrifying as the sound of a Bessemer converter about to let go. The Bessemer converter, to popularize it really, is like a vast percolator. Coffee percolator, only it percolates steel, if you can imagine. And every couple of minutes, this thing percolates to the top. And this enormous, this gigantic, it's an unimaginably big Roman candle. It goes, millions of sparks fly all the way to the clouds and down again, and drift for miles around. And then, as it slowly tilts, you hear, whoo, dong, 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 whoo. That means look out, get out of the way. This big old monster is going to pour 16 million tons of molten steel right on the top of your size 6 and 7, 8 head, unless you move quick. Woo! Well, I'm running around, digging the scene. And I come around the corner of a big building. And right next to me is, I believe it was the 14-inch merchant mill. Yeah, I'm recreating the scene, which is a big, high, tall, enormous black building that stretched for maybe a mile. And this building was the noisiest of all the buildings on the whole mill, because it was a mill where they carried great ingots and set them down, and they rolled them. You've seen pictures in the movies of them rolling. You don't really hear the sound of them rolling when you watch it in movies. The sound is so immense, so deafening, so scary that you don't even consider it any longer after a while. It's like the sound of the sea with great waves crashing against the rocks. And so the sound of a 14-inch rolling mill in full tilt is just unimaginable. It's beyond the scope of normal sound, so you don't even think of it as sound anymore. It becomes almost like an element, Skip, like lead and zinc and air and sand, sound. And boom, boom, you hear it going. Well, I turned the corner by the number 2 AC shop, and right around the corner was a big warehouse, a big steel flatbed warehouse where they kept a lot of steel that was about to be shipped. And into this warehouse, there was a long skein of 1,000 railroad tracks that ran right into it. Railroad tracks, as a matter of fact, all over the steel mill, railroad tracks hold together a steel mill the way your skeleton holds together your body. It's even not quite as exact. What I would say, it's like perhaps your arteries and your veins. The railroad tracks just spread out all over like a great tree. And so you're used to that, you're just used to that. You run along.